I've been liking the cold open.
We started?
Mm-hmm. Welcome back to another episode of Searching for McGuffin.
With your host, George.
Gabe.
And Link.
And all that jazz.
And all the jazz that follows me.
Let's just get right to it because I have a feeling we're going to go long, right? It's been another year.
2 hours, baby. Here we go.
No, we can't do that. It's been another year.
The end of 2023. End of an era.
What era is that?
The 2023 era.
So just every year.
The Eras Tour.
It is the end of the Eras Tour. That is true.
That'll never end.
Well, I think she'll come up with another name for the next tour.
Did that make your list?
The Century Tour.
It would have if I would have seen it, probably. I'm sure it's better than the Beyonce.
That movie's actually terrorized me.
Because you hear it, right?
Yeah.
It's true. We talked about it.
I just hear a bunch of people singing in the movie, like, because it's usually in Dolby, right? Or IMAX?
Yeah.
And not only that, you see them dancing around right in front of the screen as well.
Well, but
is that when you were inside of it?
Yeah.
No, that's like I've never.
I'm not shaming you for it.
We're saying that we're hearing the Taylor Swift
from the movie.
It just looks interesting from what I've seen on TikTok. Fans get up on like right in front of the screen and they start dancing like in circles.
Well, that's what it was like.
So it kind of feels like it's a
Fandango event.
Yeah, it feels more like a cult.
Yeah. Well, okay. Did you go with us to the Chili Peppers one or no?
Yeah.
It was like that too.
We were too far.
Dancing?
We were too far. We were too far to see you from the front.
Oh, okay.
Well, we were in the back.
Well, I meant from when we went to that movie one.
Oh yeah, no, I don't remember anyone dancing.
I didn't go to that.
Yeah, they performed in the Viper Pit.
I was probably in Guam.
Yeah, you were probably in Guam.
I think so. No, I think you were back.
Then that's even worse. I was probably at Southern. That's what I was.
Yeah, that's
no, you weren't that Southern.
Okay.
Then that's the worst. I'm done.
We'll
because I wasn't there yet.
Date. Yeah.
It was 2012.
2012. It was when they had just gotten Josh Klinghoffer.
Yeah. I'm with you.
You miss him?
Yeah,
no, it's you, right? You're the one that misses him?
We'll talk about that some other time, but I would have liked them to all be together. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are we doing today?
We're looking back at the year in 2023 with our top threes of 23.
Yeah, top 23s.
We didn't even plan
of
that.
Each.
Yeah. No, we're not doing top 23.
No, we're not doing top 23?
Yeah, you pushed for that, but that's not
good.
Yeah.
So top 23 movies, top 23 shows, and top 23 video games.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do for the next year. In 2024, we're going to look back at 2023. It's a 23 episode series.
It's half the year.
It's a season of
with breaks it'll be most of the year.
That's true. It'll be the whole season.
All right, where do you guys want to start?
Let's jump right into it. Actually, yeah, let's jump right into it. Movies.
Okay.
All right, starting off at number 3. What's your number 3, George?
Oh, you put me on the spot like that?
Yep.
Oh man. Okay, my number 3.
Mainly because I don't think I have a number 3 yet.
My number 3 is Godzilla -1.
-1.
Sing the song, Link. Sing the song.
Wait, I'm trying to remember how it goes.
Song. That's not even remotely close.
Violins and just heart like.
Boom, boom, boom. No, that's Star Wars. How did it go? Oh no!
Wait, just to be clear, is there rules here? Like we're going in order of importance? Because I'm pretty sure Link didn't think about that.
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, but I'm
gonna order them.
Link didn't think about it. You planned this episode. We all planned it. Did I not think about this?
Yeah, but we just said top 3.
No, top 3. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like just what? It's just the top in the tier. The top.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, my top 3s are gonna change. Like,
they're interchanging
tomorrow.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Yeah. But for right now, I picked Godzilla -3. Why? It's fresh in my mind. Just saw it a few weeks ago, and it is a return to form for the monster movie or the kaiju film. Godzilla tends to be a little, I don't know, superficial, but I thought this movie had some depth. It had some culture. I mean, they all do in a sense. They're all a window into the culture, but this really focused on that specific time period during the war and had a lot of character. It was character driven. It was very human for a Godzilla, which is a big complaint when some of these movies have too many human characters.
Mm-hmm.
But it did it masterfully, and it was a love letter to a lot of stuff. The influence, when I watched it, I was like, oh, this reminds me of a Miyazaki film. And I thought, is that just my very narrow?
It's Grave of the Fireflies with Godzilla.
But I was like, is it just my narrow perception of Japanese culture that I only have a couple of these touch points, these entry points into their culture and in their art, that I'm just going to automatically connect it to the other thing that I'm very close to?
It could be because those are the only things that you watch that are related to that era.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much Japanese World War stuff do you watch?
Well, I mean, I grew up on Tora.
Okay.
Which was part of my class video, but that's another conversation.
Okay.
But you're right. That's what I'm saying. Like, even as much as I have read and seen, like, it's limited, right? Because it's But then I read about the creation process of this film, and the director and writer were directly inspired by Jaws, which there's that scene, which I was like, oh, this is the Jaws portion of the movie. I said it out loud in the theater, as I shouldn't, but I did. I turned to, and the films of Miyazaki, as well as Shin Godzilla, which is like this like great Godzilla movie from a couple of years back that I have not seen, but now I want to go back and watch because I think it has reignited my, well, not that I was ever super passionate, but whatever passion I have for the Godzilla film. So Godzilla -1, I recommend. It's just a good movie in general. And if you've seen an American Godzilla movie the last couple of years, it's nothing like those movies.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think about Godzilla -1?
Oh, I think it's my favorite movie of the year.
So I guess that's
is that real?
Link doesn't have an order. So.
Right. Okay. So that's on your list?
Yeah, it's on my list. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. So we knocked out one from Link. So go ahead. Why did it make your list?
I think for me, it's my number one. It's my favorite movie of the year. I've never seen a Godzilla movie before. Never really cared about Godzilla. What I liked about it is that Godzilla is not the main focus. It's the story of what's happening in the lives of these people during the war or after the war.
Yeah.
So I like that Godzilla's in the background.
He's a force of nature.
Exactly. Yeah. So I enjoyed that. I love the characters. I love that they were all willing to die for this cause. Which kind of reminded me of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's my favorite movie of the year.
You know, that was such an interesting theme in the movie because
it's like the opposite. Like you in Japan, they respect an honorable death, and kamikazes are well, to them, I guess it was an honorable death, right? And it'd be a shame for you not to.
But I love that the film challenges that notion.
Exactly, and that's what I love about it.
That's the mentality early on in the film, and I was like, where are they going with this?
No, I love the fact that they challenged living an honorable life.
Mm-hmm, yeah, absolutely.
So I love those clashing themes right there. But it's my movie of the year.
No, yeah, like I think more on that. I think just that whole part of like the guy's a disgrace to everyone. The entire movie, like you didn't do the one thing you were here to do. You know. No, but even then, I think, like you said, it's challenging in that, like, when I think of, Japanese culture, I see the whole, like you said, dying an honorable death, and like choosing to die rather than surrender, like, or like give in, in any way like that. But in the film, I kind of got the sense of like, which is, I guess, the underlying theme of the film is like we want to live, and like the decisions that we'd make, and kind of like how the government was betraying them. In terms of like, yeah, we don't care. We'll let everyone die. You're not gonna overtake us. Like, we don't really care. The people stood up for themselves and like, you guys have a choice. We're like making anyone do this. This is of our own volition, and we're gonna try and like defeat this monster on our own. And I think it's also challenging. Like, we don't want to die. We don't want to die for nothing. Like, we're gonna fight to live.
And the symbolism too, because that monster represents so much. And there's that line in the movie where this country will never change. Perhaps it can't. And it's like, oh, that's so true, but not just about them, about us.
Yeah.
So I think that counts as one of yours then if it's on your top 3.
Yeah, it's my number 1. So
okay.
we don't have
that would be on my list, but I knew it was going to be on your list.
But okay. So then now it's your turn. What's the first pick from your top 3?
For me, I would, what is it?
It doesn't matter, so yeah.
Are my movies? I would say my favorite movie of the year is The Creator.
Oh, so you mentioned that you hadn't seen any Godzillas?
No.
Including Gareth Edwards' Godzilla?
Yeah.
Okay. You haven't seen that one?
No, I don't really care about
That one's
Godzilla.
No,
one's actually
you
good.
need to go and see.
I mean, it's not better than -1, but
Now I'm excited. Now I'm
It-
interested in Godzilla.
and it has
Before
one-
that, like I said, I'm like, bro, this is,
and it has one of your favorite actors in it.
Adam Driver.
No, Heisenberg, Breaking Bad.
Bryan Cranston,
Yeah, there you go.
he's in that movie.
He's in the first segment.
He's one of your
yeah.
favorite actors.
And you.
What?
Yeah, I mean, don't you love Breaking Bad?
What? I mean,
No.
who doesn't love Breaking Bad?
Well, you constantly bring it up. I mean, I like Breaking Bad a lot, but
When do
He does.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm confusing it with my other brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be.
Okay.
I mean, I do love Hal from
Malcolm in the Middle.
There
That's
you
his
go.
best.
Maybe that's why I'm getting
That's
confused.
his best role. I think. Forget Heisenberg.
I prefer
It's
him
all
as-
about Hal.
I prefer him as that bad guy in the Power Rangers episode.
Episode.
So going back to I think it was just an episode. Going back to Gareth Edwards,
The movie.
the creator. No, he was the bad guy in an episode.
He's
Not Ivan Ooze.
A good guy in the movie,
What movie?
in the Power Rangers movie.
Oh yeah, no, but he played the voice of one of the villains on the old TV show.
Oh, was that just like they
Yeah.
just brought him in, being
Oh,
like,
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
that. You
He
learn
was
something
he
new
was a
every day.
Power Rangers villain. And that's why they brought him for the movie. Yeah, he has a Power Rangers history.
Okay, I think I'm gonna break my back leaning like that.
But getting back to Gareth Edwards, I mentioned it because definitely watch that movie
Yeah.
and then go right into Gareth Edwards, the creator. Your pick, Gabriel.
Yeah, the creator. It was like, I don't know. That was like Gareth Edwards has done this to me twice now. I think, knowing absolutely nothing about the film, just like the basic premise. I think, like, I don't even think I saw the trailer for that film, but I saw the poster and I'm like, yeah, it grabbed me, like it hooked me, and yeah, I loved the. And I don't know, like I feel like maybe it's always been there, but I feel like Japanese culture is definitely like, taken over this year for me at least, and things that I've
23,
the things that I've enjoyed watching. But yeah, like this movie's about robots, heartless, not creatures. I mean, in the movie I guess they're creatures. They're like, they're created. They're supposed to serve.
Mhm.
They're supposed to, help, and then supposedly
they're so realistic that they're almost like cyborgs.
Yeah.
It's like a Blade Runner-ish.
and I think the movie has to deal with a lot of it's just very human, which you wouldn't think it is from like AI and robots, But I think
Because that's not what it's about.
exactly.
Man.
But I think at the end of the day, it's more of just, we all may be different, but at the end of the day, like we are, like we are human. We have qualities that make us human, and I think some of the same things from Godzilla is like, you gotta stand up and fight, and even though sometimes like, because what the government was doing in the creator was wrong, in a sense,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I loved that in times of like extreme, like it was really serious and dramatic. There was like moments of levity, and it was light and it was funny, and I think that I think it hit all the beats. I think that, the music was on point. I liked the chapters that it had, how it would separate in the film. And I just love the way Gareth Edwards, like his cinematography. I think was it Greg Fraser? I don't know. I don't remember.
I
I don't know if it was Greg Fraser that did that. But I love the way Gareth Edwards films look as
You
well.
said he's done it to you twice. What was the other time?
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Well, what? What exactly was it that he did to you?
It's just taking me by surprise. I think not necessarily having a lot of anticipation, like for Dune, like it's Villeneuve, like I'm anticipating that very heavily. But like, projects that are original, I think that's another thing. It's like we're bombarded by, franchise after franchise coming out with these movies, which isn't a bad thing as long as like obviously they're good, but it's also nice to have sometimes have things that you don't know anything about. A truly like original story.
Yeah, that's what made it cool.
And it just comes out of nowhere and like smacks you in the face and like, okay, here you go.
Right, like because even in Rogue One, it is Star Wars. It is a franchise, but
That was the first time we had something like that.
It was an original story too. I mean, even I felt like that way about Godzilla. Some of what Link said about what he liked Godzilla -1, that's how I felt when I saw Gareth Edwards' Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it was like, oh, I haven't seen a movie like this. Like, it's human focused, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not cliche. Okay, so that's round one. Round two, fight. It starts from you. We go round.
Let's go.
It's a snake.
I mean, I'm gonna go Oppenheimer.
Okay,
Oppenheimer, I think, is the best film of the year.
that's fair.
I think it's the best movie of the year.
I didn't put it on my list.
It's fair.
Partly because I knew it would be, and also because it's kind of like the movie. I don't know how much we've talked about Oppenheimer, but yeah.
No, I mean we've talked enough about it, but I love the movie. I love obviously Nolan. I think it's his best movie.
You think it is his best movie?
I think it's his best.
Okay.
I think it's his best movie as well.
Wow.
It's not like necessarily like my favorite of his.
For
like,
me,
from
it's
his
The
catalog.
Following, but
I think this is the one that gives him the Oscar.
I think it should.
I think so too.
All the qualities you want. It has history. It has government. It has black and white.
Cillian Murphy.
Killian. Well, I'm not sure if that's Oscar bait, but yeah,
Maybe it should be.
it should be.
Oh no, I'm talking for myself.
Yeah.
I just love Cillian Murphy.
Oh, okay. But so, is there any other insight?
Did you hear the rumors that they might get him to play Doom, Doctor Doom? And I was like, dang, why didn't I see that? That'd be excellent.
That would be excellent. That would
He
be an
could do it.
excellent.
Huh?
I think he could do it.
I
I
think
mean,
he'd be
at the
great.
end of the day, I keep saying this year after year. It doesn't matter. Like I keep saying, you think he'd actually do it?
Oh, would he?
But
actually?
they do it.
Yeah,
like
they
people
do
end up
yeah.
Why wouldn't they do it?
If the money's right and the story's right,
Yeah.
my only concern is it's him being covered up a lot of the time. I want that face, man, because his facial gestures are.
That's true. That's
He
what he
emotes
is.
so-
He's
yeah.
good. Yeah.
He doesn't even have to talk.
Yeah.
You know, he communicates so well.
I think they'll do like one of if they do get him. I think they'll do one of those things where it's like the whole movie or something. Like his introduction is.
You
gonna
think
be
he'll be
face.
Von Doom and then become
Doctor Doom? Probably.
I don't know.
Oh.
Probably.
They've done that every time we've done Doom, but also every time we've done Doom has not been a great
It's
idea.
been what, twice?
Well, 3 if you count that Corman film from the 90s that never
Oh.
went anywhere. Okay, is that on your list, Link?
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you have to think about it?
Because I don't know what my list is.
It's tough. It's tough
It's
to pick
tough,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, it
There's a
is
lot of
tough.
stuff.
It is
I do
tough.
think that. I think it's the best movie of the year. Maybe it wouldn't be on my list,
Wait, but you made a list, right?
but I can see it being on my
top?
list.
Same thing. I
Yeah,
felt the same
You get
way.
me?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, like Godzilla minus one would be
Godzilla
on my
minus
list.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So does that count as a title on your list, or do you have another title?
yeah, let's use it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Link is the skip round. Okay. So any reason why Oppenheimer was on your list, real quick?
I honestly think it's a great film. Obviously, duh. But my favorite parts were the second. I was more excited about the whole political aspect of
Yes.
it. Like that was my favorite part of the whole movie.
Which you don't expect.
Which
I
you
didn't
don't
know that.
expect. Yeah, it's like another movie. It's in itself. So yeah, I love that part the most. And it's Nolan. You get me? It's Nolan being Nolan. I think it's Nolan at his best.
Yeah.
So it was great. I enjoyed it.
Okay. My second, and this isn't in any particular order, but the movie I chose to leave Oppenheimer off the list because you said that Oppenheimer is a good bet for Best Picture.
Mm.
I think this might be its biggest competition, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Mm.
We talked so much about wanting to watch this movie, and when I finally did, the expectation was pretty high. I hadn't realized in my mind, and it met it. It was amazing. It's super long, and it flew by for me, at least.
Mm.
You know, and it was at night, which at this
Makes it
age,
longer, yeah.
yeah, you start to feel it. But no, it was an incredible true life story, much like Oppenheimer, that is so important to bring attention to. And that really impacts me when I watch in a film. I probably wouldn't have learned about this if this person, in this case Martin Scorsese, wouldn't have set out to tell that story. So I think that, as I fix my mic here, I think that Killers of the Flower Moon, the story of the, how do you pronounce it? Osage? Or yes? People. And not to give away.
Oh, the Osage.
Osage, I'm sorry. Yes. The Osage people and the series of brutal murders that they
That's
endured.
ridiculous. Honestly, that story was wild.
Yeah.
Like, also, that's another thing too. Like, I've come to the point where I'm kind of following that. I don't know if you guys still do it, or maybe you did. about like not really like going too much into trailers.
Yes, absolutely.
I started doing that for a couple of films,
That's what I do all the time.
and
But you always want
your
us to get
favorite
there.
part of the movie is the trailers, and then you walk out and go to the bathroom.
I try to go in. I try to watch as least amount of trailers as possible. But if I do watch trailers, I want it to be at the movies. But I always try to go.
So it's like part of the cinematic experience.
Yeah.
Too. I think the real thing is that he wants us to be there before the movie starts so that he can get popcorn and slushy.
That's also true.
No, that's the thing. I don't like rushing to a movie. I don't. I'd rather just be in my seat if I like watch Nicole Kidman because I have to, and then just let the movie start. I hate like rushing into it and getting in front of people's way like as the movie's starting. So I think for me that's the reason I like to get there like with time.
I hate wasting time. So when I walk in and Nicole Kidman's talking, I'm like, that's a victory lap for me. That's like, wow, I have lost no time today.
That's true. If you can time it, I just wouldn't, because there's sometimes like I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go get something. Like I'm gonna get something to eat, something to drink.
Yeah.
What we talk? Oh, Killers of the Flower Moon. I think it's one of, if not his best film, Scorsese's best movie,
and one of Leo's best performances too.
Oh yeah, that's where I was going. Like I didn't know really much like what the film was about.
Yeah, same.
Like because the trailer didn't really give much away either.
No.
Like here I was thinking. Like,
I don't think I saw it though.
DiCaprio's like the protagonist, like the good guy, like the hero. Because
whoa.
I mean, he's not. He's just not the protagonist.
He's just not going to
great
give away. Guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he's a white man in the movie, so
yeah,
might be a bad guy.
He's just a white man.
Well, actually, and there's also
I'm doing this to cover my ears.
Yeah, you're just
making it.
The audio is in the headphones, so you can hear us better. He's also a gray man because I think you're not sure about his motivations.
You gonna watch it?
Yeah, when it comes to
Apple TV.
It's already out.
No, almost.
No, when it comes out, I'll watch it there because
there's other ways to watch it.
They're trying to make you rent it.
Yeah. He's also a challenging character because he's not good by any means. I'm not saying that, but is he a problem in the system or is he a victim of the system itself? It's almost like
I think he's just simple.
He's simple and he's being manipulated, and it's almost like watching a movie. Like a gang movie with the drug slinging, youth who is like clearly he's shooting people, he's dealing drugs, he's not a good person, but does he have any other choice?
But he was being taken advantage of.
Exactly. Like he's trying to survive, and that I think almost everyone, good guy, bad guy, has a human aspect to them. Where I'm like, I kind of understand why they're doing it.
No, yeah.
Even though I don't obviously agree with so much of it, not to give away anything, but a super powerful, impacting film. Also, I love the setting because this time period always feels so alien and fantastical to me. This is America a century ago, and it's like Red Dead. It's like all those cowboy movies we grew up watching, which seems like ancient.
Yeah.
But it's like there's living people who existed in the wake of that, and that's insane.
Yeah. And it's also like it feels like a long time ago, but like you said, it's like 100 years ago, and
what a different world.
It's just, but also the atrocities that they're like, people are always gonna like, there will always be good and bad people, but just watching that like on a film, that's like that's like a gut punch, man. Like,
yeah,
to know that like it's a true story and like people went through this and people were doing this to like it makes you angry, but at the same time it's like it makes you aware. I didn't know about that story at all.
No,
you know.
And the last thought that resonated with me was, it's crazy the things that used to happen, and then immediately the revelation, it's crazy the things that still happen today. Yeah. So, Killers of the Flower Moon, highly recommended if you can rent, buy, or it'll be on Apple TV soon, and you can watch it with a link. Okay, so I guess that brings me to my third pick.
Yeah.
My final, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh, that was my third one too.
I was gonna make the list if you didn't say it. So
okay, so Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is the saving grace of the Marvel Cinematic Universe this year. The only reason why I can still wear a Marvel shirt in public.
Last 2 years, no? What came out last year?
Yeah, but I'm saying I feel like this year was a make or break year for them because you have to do something great.
They had Loki.
Yeah. But this is a movie. First of all, Loki came at the end.
Film-wise, you mean?
Yeah, film-wise, absolutely. Because the TVs can be a mixed bag, and they're not as high stakes. You can miss them and everything. But a movie, A lot of money goes into them, and they take up those theatrical windows. And we're talking the end of James Gunn's trilogy. Before he takes off.
It's the best Marvel trilogy.
Yeah,
hands
down. I think a long time ago we did a series of Marvel episodes, and we argued about what might be the best Marvel trilogy. I don't think there's a contest.
I don't think there's a contest anymore. Yeah.
Guardians was came out on top, but it cemented that. Guardians 3, a beautiful film that navigates a lot of stuff. It navigates ending the trilogy. It navigates starting a new chapter for these characters if it's to be written.
Yeah.
And it also navigates dealing with all the decisions they made in Infinity War and Endgame that James Gunn might not have included when he was writing Guardians 3. So my pick, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Anything to add?
I just love the comedy in this movie. It's hilarious. I personally am a fan of Chris Pratt. I loved him since his Parks and Rec days. So I always root for him. I always root for Andy Dwyer. So I personally love this movie. It gave him a good closing, you get me? And the best part is that we found out at the end that he is not done in the MCU.
Yeah.
They're still going to use him. I thought he was going to end. He didn't want to do it anymore. I know that Bautista didn't want to do it anymore. And I think even Zoe Saldana didn't want to do it anymore, want to continue.
Yeah, well, 2 of those 3 people have to spend a chair, 5 hours in a chair.
I understand that.
For makeup.
Yeah. I'm also happy that they didn't kill him off. I was worried that they were going to kill people off.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to lose them, but I kind of thought, what better way of... I mean, if they're going to die, if they're not going to come back, killing them makes sense, right? Give them an honorable death.
You made your peace with it going into where you're like, okay, if someone's going to die, I understand it's necessary. And then when they all make it, you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then seeing the new team as well was interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see how they do it. But I'm just happy that we get more Star-Lord, and I want to see how they use him in the future. We don't really know what's going on with the Avengers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know if they...
Yeah. They don't even... I don't think they even know. They're trying to figure it out.
But I think that he could be a good replacement for Iron Man, a good leader, since they lost Iron Man and Captain America. So let's see. I'm excited.
All right. So that's your 3?
Yeah, those are my 3.
Okay. Awesome. Great picks. Gabe, you got a dark horse?
Oppenheimer, Godzilla, and Guardians.
Yeah, and Guardians, yeah.
Yeah.
Have to add a little comedy in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the movie was great. And I was thinking, this whole time I was just thinking about the other trilogies in the MCU, and I'm like, no, that's accurate. So I think it
I mean, and beating out Spider-Man is quite an achievement.
Yeah, but I think it's just because I think that it navigates everything that happens around it so well, but also stays true to itself.
Yeah.
From the first 2, and then obviously having to be a part of, Infinity War and, taking part in those epic saga stories, but also ending on a note where it's it's extremely personal and the stakes are high because we care for these characters so much. Mm-hmm. It's not like there's a giant, galactic battle going on that's what has to happen.
And that's beautiful.
And as a film, it's almost like a living entity as a person in the sense of this. You have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. And it's the best piece of the puzzle because it's the best whole, complete film.
It's like us. It's therapy.
Exactly. Sometimes these movies are serving the bigger picture and they lose sight of themselves.
Yeah.
And James Gunn refused to do that.
Yeah.
You can tell.
No, because obviously I think it's very personal to him. And I think that he just does not care. I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
I mean, they fired him already, so he's like, forget it. I mean, what are you going to...
Yeah, but you're not going to you can't make a Guardians movie without him.
No. Yeah, but his mentality is I'm going to end this in my terms because I already got a sweet gig.
Yeah. And it made me excited for what's next.
And that's the other thing. I'm excited for whatever he brings to the table for the DC.
I'm very excited for
DCU,
Superman.
DCEU?
Yeah. Just DCU.
No, just DCU, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm very excited for the Superman movie.
Yeah?
And you know what about it is? The movie was great as a whole, but I love that ending.
Yeah.
I love the ending of them dancing to Florence in the Machine. Because I love that song.
I love that song.
I love that song, and I think...
That's a spirit song for me.
That threw me back, because when I first listened to that album, it was just it was a weird part of it was a weird time in my life, but I was listening to it, and that helped me get through a lot, kind of working through things. And I forgot, I just hadn't listened to Florence in a long time. Yeah. Listening to that song threw me back like 8 to 10 years, where like when I first listened to that song. And after that, like I looked at my Spotify Wrapped, and that was like one of my most played like songs. And I listened to a lot of Florence the rest of the year because of that. I thought that ending was beautiful, and that will always,
So is that your third pick? You have another movie.
I have another movie.
All right,
because you guys
hit it. We're 30 minutes, almost done with movies.
I told you, Tenny.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's pretty interchangeable between either Barbie or Mission Impossible. I think.
Yeah,
because they're basically the same movie.
Exactly. So I think. I don't know. I'll go Barbie.
Go Barbie. For the feminism.
Yeah, Barbie
and the box office.
Barbie. I just thought I thought it was very funny. A lot of the jokes landed for me.
Because you are Ken.
We never got the hoodie.
That's gonna be nominated for best
comedy,
song, right?
Oh, it should be. Yeah.
No, I believe it has a very good chance, along with Peaches.
No, Peaches didn't make it
for the Oscars.
Terrible.
Yeah, so what's the point of watching the Oscars?
That's true.
Oh, wow.
Actually,
then I guess
no episode this year.
Yeah.
No episode this year.
This is us protesting.
Oh, I can't believe it. Okay, so why Barbie?
I thought Barbie was just very. I think it said a lot about where we've come from. I think like with feminism and what did he call it? What did Ken call it?
Cowboy patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
And I don't know. I thought for me the jokes like landed, and I thought it was very funny. Like I think I just watched The Flash a couple of weeks before that, and that depressed me.
I could see that.
So like, and watching Mission Impossible is a good movie, but it's also like serious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Oppenheimer as well. So it's just very in a summer of,
and you had to sit through Indiana Jones too.
Yeah,
right?
in a summer of drama.
Yeah.
I think comedy was what I needed. And that's the thing. I asked you guys before, it's like, what are the comedies that we watched this year? And there wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
Nah.
Aside from like, TV shows. But
Right,
like
on film
wise, it's like, and I've realized that
Good Burger too.
I realized that looking back at it, it's like, I'm not I need to up my comedy game, you know?
But so does Hollywood. So
Yeah, because I feel like there's not a lot.
there's not a lot.
Yeah.
I think one of the ways to fix that is to give in the Oscars to give a comedy category.
No, that's not a good idea.
Because it would put the
What would you take out?
What would I take out? No, just add.
No, genre awards don't make sense. That's why I don't respect the Golden Globes. I'm sorry, everybody who works hard at the Golden Globes. And also, even then they get muddied because you get movies that you're like, was that a comedy?
And that's a problem.
Winning.
Because what you'll get is
The Martian.
winning comedy. Yeah.
Wait, what?
And some of these comedies are more depressing than dramas.
Seriously?
Than dramas, yeah.
That happened?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Look at the nominees for comedy this year. I think none of them not.
I mean, because
they're lighter. You get me in comedic tone.
I mean, because
than most dramas.
Yeah, the traditional definition of a comedy is a movie that has a positive, uplifting, happy ending, basically, versus a tragedy, which is that has a sad, poignant, reflective ending. So then, what determines a comedy? Some of these, like Atlanta, is that a comedy? Because it's one of the most depressing shows I've seen. So
I need to finish that.
It's very hard. It's very hard to determine genre, which is why I think everyone should be up against everyone. It's a bigger issue.
But comedy still do win. So
yes.
And Michael Cera. That's probably my favorite part of the movie.
Michael Cera, yeah.
Mm.
He was good in Scott Pilgrim this year as well. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Did he voice
on Netflix? Yeah, he did.
Everyone.
All of the original
came
movie
back?
cast. Everyone.
That's awesome.
Every single person.
I think that's it for film. I mean,
Okay.
Mission Impossible, but just watch it. I don't care.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? TV now? You start round one.
Let's go games.
You want to go games? Okay.
Yeah, start strong and strong.
Okay. So
I'll go first.
games is strong for me. Go ahead. Go ahead first.
Games is weak for me. I'm gonna go Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. Okay.
I think we talked about this in a monthly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it again. Spider-Man 2 is my favorite game of the year. Granted, I didn't play a lot of games this year.
That's why this category was easy, right?
It's beautiful. Like, to me, it's beautiful. I think, playing on the PS5 on that, brand spanking new TV that I have, it's just I did play another game. Okay. I have it number 3 now.
Okay, go.
No, back to Spider-Man 2. I think the game is
A cinematic marvel.
correct until like the third act. I think the third act is where it flops a bit, where it's not like, okay, it's not as high like as it should have been. But I mean, still, even with all that, I think that the small moments in the game make the game.
Yeah.
You know, the parts of like where Spider-Man, you know, is in New York and he is that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Aside from like taking on like, you haven't played it yet, right?
No, I don't have.
I was about to spoil it.
I don't have a PlayStation.
Okay, got it.
How are you gonna frame this?
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
It's just it kind of goes like I kind of felt that playing like I just kind of goes off the rails to the end to the point where like it was so, it's not small, but it was just very contained.
Yes, self-contained.
And then I think it just like, it's like Endgame just came into the mix or something like that.
Yeah.
But yes, I think that, I don't know, for me, like I just have I think everyone has their own personal like relationship with their favorite place, the favorite city. New York is one of those places for me.
Yeah.
And that I think like there's a special connection, like, you know, swinging through the park, you know, and going through the city.
He does such a marvelous job recreating
the
it.
web swinging, and even the web wings was such, I think it was such a great job. And like you said, like it's not like that different from what they did in Arkham.
Mm-hmm.
But I only played Arkham once, and that was a long time ago. So it was like coming back to that was just like, and that's a travesty in and of itself. You're right.
Yeah,
I can see it in your eyes. But it just
a single tear.
It was just beautiful. Like I really enjoyed the game, and instead of like speed running through it, like I took my time before I beat the last mission. Like I went and pretty much like tried to complete it, or as close as I can until I was like, all right, I'm gonna finish it and then complete it. It was just very fun, and I enjoyed the story. Like even though it goes off the rails at the end, I enjoyed the story, and that's why like I gave it like a 9.5. Like, I thought it was fantastic. And I think they improved upon certain things from the first one, which I love the first one. But yeah, that was my number. That's probably number one. It's probably my favorite one.
I played Arkham to death, so the opposite experience. So being able to go back to those mechanics, because it's been a decade, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just as rewarding. I was like, I love gliding and swinging. This is amazing. So I agree with you. Link, your pick for games.
Oh, really quick. Dan hated the game, and I lost a little bit of respect for him.
He's never played it.
That's worse.
Go ahead.
I watched George play a little bit of it. Does that count?
That counts, sure.
That made your top 3 list?
No. Wait, are you gonna say it sucks?
No. I'm just saying
Okay, then we're good. Yeah, you're better than Dan. You're better off than Dan.
Just so that you don't say that you hate me.
Oh no.
No, he like trashed it.
Yeah. He thinks the game is terrible.
Oh, Danny really did that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can check our text message every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. No.
All right, go ahead.
I think it's going to be on George's list. I'm going to say it before he says it. But Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I knew who you were.
I realized, everyone's just picking stuff. I'm picking stuff that
Well, I mean, that's like probably what, like your favorite game of the year?
Yeah, I think that's my favorite game of the year. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. I'm in love. I loved it. I didn't beat it because I got overwhelmed when I went to the depths.
Is it better than Breath of the Wild?
It's better than Breath of the Wild.
It's better than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. It's better than Breath of the Wild. But
it builds on everything. It's like Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
But it's beautiful. So that's my game of the year.
Yeah, that's fair. We talked. We had a whole episode on
not
it.
Baldur's Gate.
No, I didn't play Baldur's Gate. I read the idea of it, and I'm like, I'm not interested in it.
It doesn't seem like the kind of game I like, but I'm happy for everyone who got an amazing game this year. I don't think I'll ever play.
Dang, I didn't play God of War either.
Yeah.
God of War.
Oh, Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to it eventually. That's it. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it for like over an hour.
Yeah.
On the Tears of the Kingdom episodes. So check that out. Same. I
Did
haven't
you have a Tears of the
finished.
Kingdom episode?
Yeah. Right when it dropped.
Yeah, Danny loved that one.
Yeah.
Was it just you three?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we had amazing things to say that first opening week. Still have the same amazing things to say.
I gotta go back and listen to it.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, an excellent game, one of the best. And I also still haven't beaten it, but I have a date right after the show that I'm gonna sit down and put some hours into it. Why haven't I beaten it? Again, overwhelmed, scared, but also because my life has been taken over by my number one pick, the greatest game of all time. No, I'm just kidding. But my favorite game right now, and that game, ironically, is, prepare for the cringe, Fortnite. Fortnite is once again on my top of the list this year because it's even better than it was last year. Why? Because it incorporated 3 of my favorite things. Not only, again, I think I talked about like 20 minutes on the
got,
monthly.
you got like a 5-minute cap on this.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Fortnite. OG season, last season that we talked about on the monthly, was amazing. Now we're in chapter 5. They've redone the game from the ground up, and it's terrific. They added Fortnite Festival, which is the second coming of Rock Band. Racing, based on Rocket League, which is good. They're working on it. It's growing. And Lego Fortnite, which
10
is
seconds.
better than Minecraft. I said it. Fortnite, check it out. It's 4 games in 1, and I am in for the long haul.
That was, wow, 28 seconds. Good job. That was impressive.
So that's my number 1 pick.
Nice.
Oh, and I guess, do I have to do another one?
Yeah.
Okay. So, no, I don't, because Tears of the Kingdom was.
I was
No,
going to say
they- Tears of
Fortnite
the
again.
Kingdom.
There you go. So we're back to Link.
Back
Wait,
to me.
what was your 3? Fortnite.
I got Tears of the Kingdom. It's my turn again, Fortnite. Now back to Link
Oh,
for
okay.
round
yeah,
3.
yeah.
Or for round 2.
I recently played this game. I beat it this past week. It's called Dredge, and it's an amazing game. I loved it. It's a cozy game with a scary name.
It does have a scary
name, right?
That's like a boring name, like a
Yeah.
grindy name. Like a grindy
But
Think of
it's-
Judge Dredd.
I'm just gonna give you like a quick synopsis of the game. You're a fisherman.
Killing
you have
drug
your own
addicts.
boat, and that's it. You just go on adventures with people. You're doing favors for them. It's a beautiful game.
So
the
it's
soundtrack
Dunkirk?
is great.
It's Dunkirk.
Yeah, it's kind of dark, but it's very smoothing and relaxing, and I loved that game.
All right, Dredge. That's
Dredge.
a dark horse.
Yeah, check it out if you haven't played it. It's a short game. I think I beat it in like 10 hours, 15.
Cool. I love games like that.
Yeah.
PlayStation has a bunch of them. So
And
I'm
the
glad.
cool thing about it is that they have DLC for it that you can add, and they've combined it with another game called Dave the Diver.
Really, like a
Yeah,
crossover.
A crossover, and that DLC is free. So
It's Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver.
It's Dave the Diver.
Okay, so Dredge number 2 on Links.
Yeah.
What's your number 2, Gabe?
Let's find out.
No specific order.
I'm gonna go with. Yeah, I'll go with Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
Oh, a great
That's on
game.
mine as well.
Okay.
That's why I didn't say it.
Jedi Survivor is so much better than Fallen Order.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
It's so much better than Fallen Order.
It's
And-
one of those years. Like you need the first
Yeah.
one, and the second one takes it to the next level.
Yeah. Which I'm happy for, because sometimes sequels. Well, is that true for video games? Like, have you found that to be true?
No,
like,
I
do
think
they
video
improve
games,
upon?
They usually improve upon it.
Right? Okay, cool. I mean, what's not to love about this game? You
Especially
have the Force
1
and
to 2.
lightsabers.
Yeah.
Like, you have the Force and lightsabers, and yeah, because the 2 they kind of peak, right?
yeah.
Yeah. No, I think story wise, I think they covered that. I the one thing I will say is, and I'll be patient, but I've been patient for a bit. You got a real actor to play this character.
Put him in.
Put him in.
Nah, they're going to.
Star Wars, bro.
But they're taking too long because he's getting older.
They're taking way too long.
But I know that's the plan.
And
has
so, yeah, because that's exactly what I thought when I saw him. I was like, okay, he's clear. Like, I thought this was gonna happen like in Mando season 2,
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
No, but I think the mechanics, it's a lot less buggy. It's gorgeous on that PS5.
Oh my
man.
goodness.
It's beautiful.
On Xbox Series as well.
Yeah. And I think they tied in just the newer stuff of Star Wars, like the High Republic and stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
into it, where it's like, okay, I'm kind of interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
Twists were good.
But we still haven't beaten it.
Oh.
But we're good.
He turns to the dark side and kills himself.
Oh well. I guess we're not going to see him.
Honorable death. No, they cloned him.
Oh.
That's the after credit scene.
No, I think it's a very it's just great, bro. Like the combat, like, because I think for me, I don't know. I think the way that the gamer that I've become is just, I'm okay with simple, man.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes, honestly, I'll be honest, like I kind of get overwhelmed with like Breath of the Wild, like playing it.
Nah, man, it's beautiful.
And I know it's great. And I'm gonna finish it.
It's simple too. It's complex but simple. Trust me.
Too many things.
I think
to
it's
do.
just me because I'm just used to shooters.
Okay.
So
Yeah, simple-minded FPS.
yeah. So I think
Peace.
no, I think that it's simple. It's simple enough for me. Like I just,
Yeah.
beat-
Hack and slash.
beat my lackeys, use the Force, get my lightsaber, and that'll be that. And
Another cinematic film, story driven.
It's Star Wars, bro.
Yeah, it's Star Wars. It's awesome.
What else? Also, I think I also like the inclusion of all the different stances.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think that was super sick. like the double bladed and like you can rip them apart, and with the blaster, I thought that was pretty cool. And the heavy, the crossguard lightsaber.
Yeah, no, it was excellent. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, so that was it for me.
Yeah,
I think I have one more on my list, right?
You can go again, yeah.
Yeah, you go again. That's right. This starts round 3.
I think the third one's gonna be Hogwarts.
Nice. Okay. Well, going back real quick to Jedi Survivor, my second favorite Star Wars game this year.
I can see. Is Fortnite your favorite?
Yeah, that's correct. All right, go ahead. Hogwarts.
Harry Potter's not in Fortnite, is he?
No, he's not.
That's interesting.
Not yet.
Maybe in the new HBO.
I can't wait for Ron and Hermione to take out
not
those
you
machine guns. And...
Not me.
All right, go ahead. So what? Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy. Which I'm still.
Ron,
I haven't finished it.
I'm only an hour in.
Didn't grab your attention?
No, I have too much other stuff that's on high priority. So it's on my top 10, but that's a lot of games, in a year.
No, this game definitely, because I don't think I played any, were there other Harry Potter games?
They were.
They were, right?
The Quidditch one, no?
Yeah. Which is something I'm kind of sad.
That they were just like, oh, Quidditch just canceled this season in the game.
Yeah, it's which I don't know if they're going to,
they're going to make another game.
Put that in the game, or it's going to be
part of the DLC.
It's going to be a separate game.
Quidditch 24 or something like that?
No, it's a separate game. It's a separate game.
FIFA? That'd be kind of cool. No, this I think threw me back into the Harry Potter, world, the Wizarding World, and it made me watch all the movies again, do a marathon.
That's awesome.
And I liked the mechanics of it. I liked the story was great, but I think I liked just the fact that you can be so creative with how you cast spells and how you're gonna, approach a situation. And I think it's so vast and expansive, and how you can just explore Hogwarts, and there's so many different things, and for me, there weren't a lot of bugs or glitches or anything like that. And in Hogwarts, it's just you get kind of a limited view during the movies that I think in the game, you get to explore and look at so much more that I think to me is super interesting. And just, it's also probably the third game I played.
Okay, no, but that's a great game. That's a great game. A game that I bought, barely played, and I don't regret buying it because it was that good.
But it's one of those things where it's even Harry Potter fans, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you either bought it to play it or you are watching someone, play it.
Yeah, I've watched someone play it more than I've actually played it because I really bought it for a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And you watched them play?
Yeah, I watched them.
Was it frustrating?
How was that? Yeah, was that frustrating?
It was very frustrating because they just roll constantly, all over the map.
Do they not know how to play video games?
Yeah, basically, they're really into Harry Potter.
But it got them into video games,
Yeah, exactly. It's a gateway drug to video games, So, thank you, Harry Potter.
Go ahead, Link.
No, for me, I think my third one is, Harry
Potter.
No. Fallen Order. No. What's the name?
Jedi Survivor?
Jedi Survivor, yeah. It's my third one. I didn't get to beat it because I only got to play it for a week because Tears of the Kingdom came in. But I'm going to beat...
Came in what?
Or was released a week later.
Okay.
So I'm gonna beat that one, but I really enjoyed it. I loved Jedi.
Do it. It's short.
Yeah, it's short.
Whenever these games
Fallen
come out,
Order.
Yeah, whenever these games come out, it's always my opportunity to just Link, buy a system.
Yeah,
Link, buy a system.
Well, that's what I did with Hogwarts. My friend had to buy a system to play it.
Yeah, I was trying to get him to buy an Xbox.
I have an X.
No, did you buy the Xbox for that? Is that what it was?
He did buy an Xbox for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Series S.
I think I was still trying to convince him to get a PS5, and then most recently with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You can take my PS5, man, if you want. It's mine now.
No, but you're playing it.
Nah, man, it's fine.
He's playing Fortnite.
But if
I'll play Tears of the Kingdom and Fortnite. That's it.
No, I'm good for now.
All right. You let me know, though.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
It's there.
Because the only game I want to really play for the PS5 is
Fire Emblem.
Ghost of Tsushima.
I have that too.
I finally beat Fire Emblem. I'm let me get this over with. It was all right. It was not. It was good. It was a great game. Yeah. All Fire Emblem games are great.
But didn't make your top 3.
But didn't make my top 3. Maybe because I dragged on with it so much and I was tired. I'm like,
it became a dredge.
It became a dredge. Yeah.
It became a little bit of a dredge.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So my third pick is another dark horse. One you may not have heard too much about. It is called Hi-Fi Rush. And it is for Xbox. Game Pass. It's on Game Pass. And it is an amazing cel-shaded action rhythm game. You have to fight at the rhythm, but I saw your face because you're thinking what's that Legend of Zelda game that's crossover with?
Yeah,
for but you're not dependent on it. you fight better if you go to the rhythm, and the rhythm's a lot easier to keep because I have difficulty with those. It's just really inventive. It's really accessible, and it's crazy. It's cyborgs. It's the future. It reminds me a little bit of Jet Set Radio, a little bit of No More Heroes. It's like about a 10-hour game. So I snuck it into my playlist during the year. It was a surprise, a game I would have never bought, but played because it was on Game Pass, and I loved it. And then it ended up being critically acclaimed. So I felt like I got in on the ground level. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you get a chance, if you got Game Pass and 10 hours, Hi-Fi Rush, it is crazy, nuts, high energy, action. I love it. That's the only thing I can describe it. A talking cat that's a robot, and light sword. It's excellent. Fantastic.
Sounds good. I gotta check it out.
TV.
Okay, who wants it? Link starts this round.
All right. So for me, one of my favorite shows of the year. Apparently it's a comedy. I really enjoy The Bear. It was my show. I'm not sure if it's my show of the year. But,
I am.
But it's so good. I love that show so much. I loved season 1. I didn't think it can get better than season 1, but they found a way.
One of those like perfect seasons where it's just like, yeah.
They found a way to make it better, and it's so good. It's so good. I loved it.
That's my show of the year. That's my favorite one of the year. I just think, like you said, the first season is chaos. Like, you're just like, I want to pull my hairs out. You know, it's just like, because it mirrors, like, you know, life in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys can relate when you guys play Overcooked.
Yeah. It's Overcooked, the series.
That's
what the Bear is.
And I thought like it was like the main character and a lot of other characters dealing with like just the hard times, but they're also given an opportunity to grow. And I think that
in this season,
but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. The first season was kind of like getting the team together, like bringing this together to make that opportunity possible.
Yeah.
And I think in the second season, they do such a great job of moving the story forward and not necessarily being repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that everyone goes on their, you know, pretty much separate journeys, and it's a way to, like, they just develop the characters very well.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, especially like with Carmi's character, I think that he goes through a lot. He goes through all, like, you know,
he's the one that doesn't grow, in my opinion.
No, it was an interesting ending, but I think where in the first season, like, he goes through a lot and he's just focused on, you know, his job and what he's doing, and like obviously the strife that, like, obviously, like, losing his brother has caused, and trying to take over, like, the family business and stuff like that. And then in the second season, he gets kind of like a chance at, you know, a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that pushes his character forward, because this is someone that it just didn't seem like he was like that when he was younger. So he kind of missed out on that stuff. So it's just like when you see someone in a relationship for the very first time. And I think that they got that really well, where you just like kind of forget everything else exists and you're just focused on this person because it's new. It's like, it's an incredible feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, you kind of lay like your responsibility, you put your responsibilities to the side.
Yeah.
And I think that they capture that very well. Plus that Christmas episode or Thanksgiving,
I was going to say,
was my favorite episode of anything this entire year.
I think the episode afterwards.
I think the episode after
with Richie.
I think the episode after was
Richie's redemption.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah,
that's my favorite episode.
I think it's a great 1-2 punch, but I think that the holiday episode
is like,
I think it's very
no, yeah, exactly.
I think it's beautiful, but it's also like reminiscent of, like, you know, family. Like,
it was traumatizing. Actually, it was like, I can relate to this.
Yeah, like we've kind of been in similar like in the similar situations. So it's like seeing that was like, I guess, triggering.
Yeah,
but also
captured
I haven't seen something like that, man. Like, it's like you took it out of someone's living room, man.
Yeah,
it goes beyond TV, man. It was like it might be one of the greatest achievements I've ever seen on television.
Yeah, I loved it. And like you said, the Richie episode, like that 1-2 punch, like
1-2 punch, man.
What is it, like episode 6 and 7 or something?
Yeah,
like that?
6 and 7.
Check it out, man.
6 and 7 were fantastic.
Yeah.
Richie,
you go from being annoyed of Richie, like, oh, this guy's so annoying, to rooting for him. Like, you don't even realize, like, you're cheering for this guy.
And it's so
And they did it in an episode.
It's so well paced. It's so
yeah.
excellently paced, and they kind of have like this whole arc and just complete it towards the end and wrap it back around. You bring it back around with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great.
The best Taylor Swift song.
I don't know about all that, but
all right. Love Story
That's
is
an episode.
the best.
We're gonna have an
Taylor
Taylor
Swift
Swift
song.
episode.
Okay. What's your next pick?
So what did I do? The Bear.
The Bear.
Oh, actually, I haven't gone, right?
I mean, I went first.
Yeah. So
You go.
does it go back?
No, you go.
I go?
'Cause you don't
Okay.
pick.
So I did not put The Bear, even though it's probably the best show on TV.
Yeah.
Because I knew it would be on both of your lists.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to include, this might be on your list, Gabe. I don't know. The Last of Us on HBO. Did it make your list or no?
It's on there. Like,
Oh, but it's not on your top.
it's on there depending on what everyone else's answers are.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're all cheated? Okay, cool. The Last of Us. I thought this was an excellent show. It played a part in me getting a PlayStation. So I was like, I should probably play this now after I watched it. Pedro Pascal had to make the list somewhere. Mando did not make my list this year. It was a great show, but Pedro Pascal
Oh, damn.
pivoted. You forgot that's a show that exists?
I forgot Ahsoka existed.
Well, that didn't make my list. But anyways, Last of Us, we've talked about it. It's tremendous, cinematic, a video game done right. Probably one of the best survival horrors I've seen in years, if not at all.
Yeah.
Did you ever get the chance to see this or no?
No.
Okay. See, the dismissive
Wait, you haven't
no.
seen The Last of Us?
No, I haven't seen
The
it.
dismissive no is the one that annoys.
Like, oh, no, I didn't. I was like, oh.
Are you planning to?
At some point, yeah.
Okay. I think you should go out of your
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
It's 10 episodes, and it is great stuff.
Mm.
Great stuff. The Last of Us. And you love Pedro Pascal, right?
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
He's
Well,
daddy.
So, well, there's that then. So that's round one for everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I go with round two or Link? Go back to Link?
Go back to me.
Go back to Link.
My second show of the year is Mob Psycho 100.
Oh, an anime.
Yeah, it ended. This was the ending of the show, season 3, and I think it's the best ending I've seen in an anime. It's a happy ending. It's a good ending.
Really? So it's a comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy. Yeah, the show's freaking comedy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
It's One Punch Man meets My Hero Academia.
But good.
But yeah, it's good. Yeah. So it's always been one of my favorite animes. So the fact that they gave the character, Mob, happy ending, I was just happy. And if you've never seen Mob Psycho 100, check it out. It's only 3 seasons long.
Yeah.
And it has a definite end. And it's beautiful. It's great comedy.
I believe it's on Hulu. I think they have it.
They
But if
have
not,
it.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah, Crunchyroll. I don't know where else, but check it out. It's fantastic.
And if you don't have Crunchyroll, $1.99 special on Amazon Prime channels, just go ahead and do it.
There you go.
There you go. That's your tip right there.
Today we're sponsored by Amazon Prime
December 31st expires. All right.
until December 31st.
Yeah, then we're not.
And then we're not
Sponsored.
sponsored by them.
Okay, Mob Psycho 100. Definitely got to check it out. All right. Gabe?
What did I say? Bear?
The
The
Bear.
Bear.
That's hard. I'm like remembering the TV shows now. I'm like, man, that's crazy. This is tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Ms. Maisel.
Oh, how did that not make my list? I forgot
Dang.
about it.
I'm gonna go Ms. Maisel.
That's the best show on TV, was.
I think that because the thing is that Miss Maisel was going on with my other number on this list.
Right.
Because I think it's like my list could be interchangeable between like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Like I could put Ted Lasso because like the show ended and it was like, to me it was great. I love that show. I think season 2's
The best.
superior.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But Marvelous Mrs. Maisel I think is excellent throughout 4 seasons.
I agreed.
I think that, like I said, like it's a different time of New York City, but I think that the ideas presented it, like you said, I think we had a conversation that happens in the movie with what's his name? Moish. Moish and his friends about life and stuff like that.
Yeah, the guy from Monk.
Yeah.
What's his name? Monk?
Tony Shalhoub.
Monkey. Is that a nickname they give him on the show, Monk?
I've never seen
Maybe.
Monk.
Me neither.
He dropped a new movie this year, actually.
Yeah,
It's a Monk movie.
it's a Monk movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Streaming.
What's Monk about?
He's an OCD detective.
So Sherlock.
I thought he was like a monk.
He's more like Columbo.
Columbi.
Okay. Continue.
Um,
Miss Maisel.
I think the show the actors, I think they did a very good job. I think where they went with the story was very good. How they did it from like the end of the show basically, and just how it unraveled, kind of like they did. Because the show's set in the '60s, but at the beginning of the last season, they fast forward to the end, basically how her life transpired.
Until what year?
70 something. Oh, it's still the 90s,
Yeah.
right?
One thing I liked about it was it went in places you
didn't expect it to go.
Yeah, didn't expect it to go. And whatever you are waiting for doesn't really happen. It goes in another direction, and the show's so unapologetic. This is the story we're telling. We don't care what you think a television show's supposed to end like.
Yeah, like it did its own thing, and I thought that was very refreshing. But it's also like I could see this actually, like I could see her character being a real person.
Yeah.
And they really went all out to make it seem that way. Like they took care of little details that I'm like, oh, that is like what would happen. Like this, like Miss Maisel seems like she was an actual person.
Yeah.
In real life.
It feels like they had to fit the actual events and decisions of a person and make a story out of it instead of fabricating a story. It's not cliche at all.
Yeah. And I think it's a lighter Mad Men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cigarettes.
That's what you know about Mad Men.
That's what you need to know about Mad Men.
Yeah, show was hilarious. It did not make my list because I forgot that ended this year because it's been something it's been a 6
It was towards the beginning of the year, so.
Yeah,
how many
6
seasons?
year journey.
6 seasons?
4 seasons.
No, 4
seasons?
seasons. It took 6 years to make them.
8 episodes.
So there's long stretches of time where constantly every like 3 to 4 months my wife is the new season of Miss Maisel out for the past 4 years. So that's just I never knew when it was out, when it was happening.
And
Dang.
And
I think I'm going to
like,
watch that show.
And it's just like the dialogue. And like you said, like it's about a woman stand-up comedian in that time, which is like, it was kind of unheard of.
Yeah. It's a very original show.
And like, I think it speaks to it in itself. Like the character is very original, which is why she's good. But her material, but I also think like the dialogue and the scripts, it's all quick-witted humor.
Yeah.
Which I'm just drawn to. I think anyone's drawn to, like the banter in the shows and the episodes, like everything's so like, you know, the delivery I think is like perfect from everyone in the show.
Yeah.
Like how they talk and everything. And I think it captures that time period very well. No, you just feel smarter watching the show too.
Yeah. It's also a great show. I get this feedback a lot from people my age. I have a lot of female friends that love the show, and I have a lot of guy friends who watch it with their wives. Yeah. So it's like it's a really good like couple show. Women like it, guys like it. Has a little bit of everything.
Because I think it's like truthful. It's not like only like in one. It's not like basically through one lens. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think anyone can relate to it.
Dang, now that it's over, I'm gonna watch it. This is a show I'm gonna watch next.
Nice, good choice.
Declaration.
Good choice.
So forget Last of Us.
Okay,
that's fine. I accept that because this show is superior. I would rather you watch 4 seasons of this, and then get to 10 episodes of The Last of Us. Plus, you have time. The Last of Us season 2 is not gonna be for like another 2 years.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, so like we hinted at when you mentioned that you forgot that this show happened.
It's like the inverse. You with Ms. Maisel, me with this show.
That's right. The show that did make my list was Ahsoka. Why? We talked about it. It's Star Wars. Same reasons.
That's all you need.
Same reasons Jedi Survivor made your list. That's why Filoni did a great job. Is the show perfect? No. Was it a hell of a lot of fun? Yes. Am I confused and have a lot of questions by the end? Sure. But I think I'm looking forward to the future of Star Wars. Rather than
it's hopeful.
Yeah.
It's extremely hopeful.
Yeah. And that's all I'm looking for out of Star Wars.
No, because like, what is it? And I think finally the continuation of probably the best Star Wars animated show.
Yes.
Yep.
I think the continuation of Rebels is something that I've been waiting to see, even if it was like an animated show, you know, because then I had to like live with Resistance. But for that to be live action.
Yeah.
And to see those characters, it was, I don't know, like that's like the dream that I've had for those animated shows for such a long time.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm perfectly fine with it staying animated.
I'm fine with that too.
I think it.
If we get another animated project, I'll be happy. Yeah.
I think it would have been better animated.
I don't know, man.
That's how I feel.
Because I feel like it's grown up in the sense that
that one episode changed my mind completely.
Yeah. I mean, Be specific. Go ahead.
The Anakin episode,
Yeah.
the Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure which one you meant.
To see the Clone Wars live action, but
Yeah.
that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Okay,
something-
that in that sense, yeah.
You know,
I
so
can
it
see
has
that.
its pros. Getting Hayden
Yeah.
Christensen back. Period. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, you're right. You're right on that sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, and now it's not a secret. Like Rebels was a secret for a long time. Clone Wars was like a hidden gem, but now
Everyone, like you,
Yeah.
You gotta
You
watch
can't
Rebels.
ignore.
Yeah.
You can't ignore it. Like it's and that feeling that I once had with the MCU, where I'm rewarded for watching all these things. Ahsoka is so much more enjoyable if you've seen Clone Wars, if you've seen Rebels, if you watch Mando, and even Resistance. A couple of nods there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there's anything to get out of it, you know, good for you. Ahsoka rewards you for being a Star Wars fan, and it rewards you for the future.
And and that's what I'm so excited about, the future. Let's see. I think they have their opportunity to have like their own Avengers.
Yeah.
And that's what
that's pretty much. I think where that's
think
going.
that's where it's going. Yeah.
and that's what I'm so excited about.
I think that. I mean, we talked about it in the episode where we covered it, but Filoni does such a great job of making things relevant and like trying to fix things, you know, retroactively. When I think throwing in things, you know, from the sequels, from the prequels, and I think actually like bringing it together. So like, all right, this story makes sense. It's part of something. Like even though something was, and I think I made the comparison of the Japanese art from Kintsugi, like with the gold in the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I think that's his special talent. I think that is his talent, man.
Yeah.
And I think that he's really, you know,
it's his forceability.
I think he's come out of his shell because he's been great like with the animated shows, but to come into live action and, you know,
and now he's rewarded for it too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for
what's his new position?
For the movie.
Chief Creative Ops.
Kevin Feige
Emperor.
of Star Wars.
Kevin Feige of Star Wars.
So okay, so that's round 2. Real quick, round 3 or 5.
Round 3. For me, my other show is Vinland Saga.
Wow, 2 animes on your top 3
yeah,
TV.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right.
I do think that this show
Justice for not having a separate anime category.
I do think that this show might end up replacing Cowboy Bebop as my favorite anime.
That's insane.
Season 2 was so beautiful. Season 1's all about violence and revenge. And then
I almost said it was Naruto.
Season 2 is all about, it's a complete opposite of that. Like there is violence, but there's not much violence, and the climax of the whole show, of the whole season, is a philosophical conversation that the character has with another character, and it's like, wow, you can see the growth, and it's just beautiful, man. And I can understand if people don't like this season as much because it, like I said, there's not as much violence as as the first one. But
so less action.
It's a lot less action.
Okay.
It's very it's dragged. It feels like it's dragged. And if you're watching it weekly, it's not fun.
So your review for Vinland Saga is Vikings has turned into the marvelous Miss Maisel.
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just to see the character growth of the main character, Thorfinn, it's beautiful. And as someone who's caught up with the manga, I'm so excited to see where it goes. But I do think that this is where it peaks, and I don't know how you get better than this.
Only 2 seasons, and it's available on Netflix as well, right?
Netflix and Crunchyroll and Hulu. No, I don't know. And Amazon Prime
Video
Video
it's just Netflix
for $1.99 until December 31.
No, they don't have Netflix on there. That's not
No, but
Crunchyroll. That's right. Yeah,
yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry.
And season 1 was that's where I watched it, on Amazon Prime. Because Amazon Prime is where good animes go to die.
Okay, I guess that's a conversation for another day.
But yeah, watch it. You see, it's like the complete opposite. It's like the yin and the yang of each other. Season 1 and season 2. But it's I
I'm
love
intrigued.
that show. I love that show.
All right, Gabe, round 3. What's your last pick?
I love it so much. Wait, really quick.
Yeah.
I love it so much that in my classroom, one of my things was that I need to make it more appropriate to the subject I teach.
Yeah.
So I thought, I guess I got to get posters for that. So then when I went to go buy posters, I'm like, I should add Vinland Saga posters in my classroom. And that's what I ended up doing, which I think will make it more appropriate to the subject I teach.
Can't wait to see you debut that in the new year, right?
Yeah. I got to go print them out now because I bought them digitally.
Okay.
You know anyone that does that stuff for free?
Free?
Yeah,
Do
we'll
I know
talk after.
anyone that does anything
Yeah, we'll
for
talk
free?
after. And we do this show for free.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh, it costs us money. You're right.
You're right. We pay to do this.
Us money. It's Ted Lasso, but I feel like I've talked ad nauseum about Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
So
moving on.
So I'll
I'm just
say
kidding.
I'll go Beef. I think I really enjoyed Beef.
Really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed Beef.
Wow, that high.
I liked Beef.
But it's really Ted Lasso.
Yeah, it's Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Beef is like 4
What's Beef about?
or 5. No, Beef is 5.
Real quick, what's Beef about?
It's about having beef with someone.
Oh, really? I thought it was about meat.
No, it's having like literal beef with someone.
Oh, okay. Literal? I don't think that's literal. But having figurative beef with someone.
Figuratively, literally beef. Literally, figuratively beef.
You got a yes and him, man.
Oh.
No, it's okay. Because I should stop saying that, using that as a word. No, it's 5 because it's Last of Us and Ted Lasso.
Okay.
And then Beef.
Yeah. I left Ted Lasso because I was sure you were going to include it.
I talked about it.
And I also don't think that the last season was as strong as the rest of the show. It was still really good and one of the best shows on TV, but it didn't end where I thought.
Okay, so personally, I think where I do love this show. I do, even though I think, the 3rd season wasn't as strong as the 2nd season, I still love it for like the relationship with Roy and Jamie and where it goes. That's
beautiful.
That's my best.
Yeah,
that's
that
my
bromance is
favorite
beautiful.
part of the season.
Yeah.
Especially like seeing how they hate each other
Mm-hmm.
and like their trajectory.
The growth,
I think it was absolutely fantastic.
The growth of Jamie Tart.
I think the stuff with Ted was complicated, and I think it was, I don't know, it got murky towards the end.
Yeah.
It got murky because Ted Lasso stopped being about Ted Lasso, and that's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
I love all the other characters. Some have stories just to kind of be on the show.
Yeah.
And maybe to set up a sequel / spinoff.
Yeah.
So,
But I also think the football soccer fan in me, that's the part that also that's also like being, catered to.
okay.
And I think like the total football episode I think was great. I think even though in reality it's such a like
Contrived.
it's a well-known concept and it's just so just simplified. I don't know. I just love this show. I love the feeling that I get when I'm watching the show and its positivity. And I feel like it's taught me a lot. And I feel like I've learned lessons, and I talk to my friends about it, and that's something like we all like agree on. That is like we love it, and I feel like we're kind of better people after watching it.
Yeah, and I think that's the mark of great television, like The Bear, Miss Maisel, Ted Lasso, that it elicits conversations about life, and that it makes you reflect on your experience. It's more than just entertainment, and I think that's true about so much of the titles that are on these lists.
Yeah.
Vinland Saga does that too.
Okay, yeah.
And I think the thing with Beef is that it's such a stupid concept for like a show. Like it's just like someone there's just road rage. That's how the show starts, is road rage, and then these people like try to one up each other and mess each other's lives up, and then eventually it progresses from there. And I think that's where it starts to actually get good. The last episode goes off the rails a little bit.
Okay.
But it sets up for another season. But I think that it's especially me, someone that I don't know who's in the car next to me.
Yeah.
But I'm yelling at them at the top of my lungs because it's you are a terrible person for doing this. But you never know. You never really
I do
know
it quietly
the person
to myself, and my wife's the only one who hears me.
I don't. I can't.
Yeah. I'm always afraid of getting shot. I live in Florida.
That's why I don't necessarily stop.
Have you seen that episode of Batman the Animated Series where this guy has road rage and he curses out the guy that cut him off, and it ends up being the Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you never know.
That's an amazing episode.
Yeah, that's why you never know. That's why you shouldn't.
Actually, you
have
know
road
what?
Rage.
You just unlocked a memory, because I'm almost certain that I can literally trace that aspect of my character to that episode. I saw that as a kid, and once I got in a car, it was like, nope.
Yeah.
I'm not going to curse out the Joker.
Exactly.
You never know what might happen.
But at the same time, too, it's not like I'm perpetually honking at the person.
Nah, you're clearly just attacking people.
I'm yelling at them from inside my car.
Oh, okay.
It's just me. I just need to, get that.
That's true,
That
man.
energy
Now that
out.
you've been my chauffeur these past few days, thank you, by the way. I've noticed his road rage, and I encourage it, and I
Some people are just dumb, man.
I just agree with him. I just yell back.
Some people are just dumb, man.
I try to match his energy.
I have angry, rational conversations with them in the car. I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, come on, man. Why'd you do that?" But anyways,
I will support you two next time.
Okay, thank you.
I will try to answer those questions.
Okay, I appreciate it. I don't remember what was my final thought. I'm still missing one, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, my last pick for television in 2023 from my top 3 is Loki.
Ooh, I watched the first episode.
Oh, and?
Eh,
Okay, don't worry about it.
that's how I felt. I don't know.
It's so much better.
I wasn't sure if it was just like it didn't catch my attention. I'm like, I don't want to continue
It
this.
didn't catch my attention.
No,
the
the
second.
Yeah, the first episode, I was like,
Okay.
all right.
Okay, good. I thought it was just me, and I'm like, because I know you guys, because you guys loved it, and I was like, oh.
I was like, we're in for more mid.
And I was like, that's how I felt.
Yes.
I'm like, this didn't catch my attention. I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my break on this.
Well, you know how we're always encouraging you, like, no, watch it with us, watch it week to week. We weren't certain of the journey all throughout, which is why we were like, wait till it's done, and then we'll tell you.
I think by 4 I was sold. Like 4, like I was like, all right, this is the best show on Marvel.
But still trepidation because you're like, let's see how it ends. And then there's like,
well, it's because they're not gonna get me again, man. Like Marvel, like it can look. You're looking at me with such intense eyes right now.
I'm just trying to match your energy, your road rage energy.
So that's true. Like they're not gonna get me again. Like you can start off something. I'm like, oh, this looks good. Secret Invasion. I'm interested in this show. And then by the end of it, that was the worst one.
Yeah.
They're not gonna trick me again. Like I'm very cautious about these things now.
Do you know what episode the Miss Minutes episode was?
Where
that was after 4, right?
She gets like
she just like she's a lot. She's a lot in the episode.
It's either 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. So it was after that you were sold, right? You have to get through that.
By episode 4, I was
okay.
in it.
I remember I had a question mark. If you get to an episode where it's like a lot of missed minutes, and you're like, where are they going with this show?
Yeah.
Oh, it gets amazing.
Okay, so continue watching?
Yeah, continue watching.
Okay.
It's not like...
Miss Minutes threw me for a loop there.
Yeah, it's not a fun line. Why do I like this show? It's its own thing. Well, I mean, going back to Guardians 3, this show is self-contained. It exists only within the confines and the rules of itself, but its resolution can arguably fix everything in the MCU.
Oh, really?
I think it has.
Yeah, I think it has. I think, honestly, if they follow this, their problems are solved. Let's see if they do. But regardless whether they do or not, if this was just a sci-fi show that wasn't about Marvel's Loki, that it didn't exist in the MCU, it would be still one of the best shows this year. This show is just a great sci-fi show because it establishes its own rules. It follows them. It foreshadows, and for the most part pivots so that it throws enough like red herrings that you don't guess every step of the way where it's going, and then the finale is just art. I think it's beautiful.
It sticks.
Yeah, gotta watch it then.
Yeah, man, it's a great
show.
And
the music's so good.
Music score, it's because that's what it is. It's just great filmmaking, you can say, because these TV shows have basically film.
But this one, nowadays. There's certain episodes where I'm like, I'm in a movie.
Yeah, and that's what I think the pitch was when they started this whole streaming thing. We're gonna bring movie quality to your television at home, and Loki, like Mando in the past, and Ahsoka, and certain other shows, finally fulfills that promise. Yeah, no,
it gives you movie quality stuff.
I don't feel that way. That's one of my biggest
appearance.
One of my biggest gripes with Obi-Wan is that it feels too small and too TV.
No, what you mean? It's movie it's movie content.
No, it takes TV shortcuts, but that's another conversation.
It's like if they broke up one of the prequels up.
That's fair. I don't consider the prequels actual movies. Anyways, but that's my list. Really quick, we're up against an hour 20. Any media picks outside of your top 3s? Anything you want to add? A book, maybe? I would say anime, but you included them. A manga?
American Prometheus.
It's not a 2023 book, but it's timely now.
I'm 2/3 of the way.
Oh, I got about an hour left. It's a hefty read. We've talked about it. The book that Oppenheimer is based on, definitely check it out. Anything else?
I started reading the Game of Thrones books. Those are pretty good.
Okay.
Blue Eye Samurai on Netflix.
Blue Eye Samurai Girl.
That's right.
That one's.
Is it done? You guys finish it?
That first season's over.
First season.
All right. Excellent. I got more books. Songbirds and Snakes. The movie came out. Didn't make our top 3, but it was a great movie. Link still has to watch it. Read the book. The book is even better than the movie. If you didn't like the movie, the book's better. If you like the movie, the book's even better.
Oh, Daisy Jones and the Six.
Oh yeah, that was this year on Amazon Prime.
I like that show a lot.
Okay, I've heard the book's good.
And I think I like the music more.
The music's in the book, so you should check it out.
Let us know also on social media. We'll do another poll. We've been doing polls on Instagram. What are your top 3 movies, shows, and video games? Let us know there. Yeah, we'd love to hear from our fans. The two of them that listen to us.
Okay, you're just gonna keep denigrating us on air constantly?
It's my mom that listens. Gabriel's mom.
Your mom listens? My mom doesn't even know.
My mom doesn't even know.
Well, she does. She keeps asking me for the link.
And she keeps on asking me what it is. I'm like, I can't explain this to you.
Does she keep asking you for the link and you just send pictures of Link?
Should you do that?
And then she calls him Link.
Yeah. That's why she doesn't get it. She keeps asking.
She calls him by his government name.
All right.
But yeah.
You want to do our outro?
Yeah, 2023 was a great year. We got great movies, great shows, great video games. What a time to be alive, right? You could have been born at any time in the world history, but you're alive in this time, 2023. You're born
literally
today, right? If you were born today, guess what? You got more than 2023 years worth of content to consume.
You also have almost 100 episodes of this show to catch up.
Yeah, and that's the most important one. So if you haven't watched an episode or listen, now's the time to do it. Until then, see you in 2024 and keep on searching.